Welcome to episode 24 of my review series for Warhammer 40k Conquest. This episode we're starting on the Dreadnought, so we've only got part of the Dreadnought. The next part's going to be coming in the next issue. At this point we've kind of got a quarter of the Dreadnought even, and a big base. I'm guessing there's at least 2 more sprues in the next bit which will make up the whole Dreadnought. I say guessing, I'm trying to remember how many sprues were in the Dreadnought when I had it. I actually do already have a copy of this model. This is going to be my second one, but you can't have too many Dreadnoughts. At the moment, whilst you can see the model is a very nice model in terms of quality, you haven't really got anything to do anything with this issue. Got like half an autocannon, half a power fist with a quarter of a storm bolter, 1 foot, and the overshell. I'm going to see if I can get. Yep, the model is a 3 sprue model. So I've got it up here on my little tablet. So I'm just going to get that out. Well, here we go. This is the sprue we've got. I'm just going to get that so you can see it. Then next week, that sprue and this massive great base. So next week I would expect. No, I don't want that. Jeez. Come on, load up. Next week I would expect us to get. I don't need it to be huge. You get in there. Sorry about this, guys. A little bit of a delay on this. Next week I'd be expecting us to get this sprue, which is obviously part of the legs, and another foot and part of the minigun, and this sprue here, which... Oh, why have you done that? I can get most of it there. This sprue here, which is remnant of the legs, back of the Dreadnought, and the rest of the... Oh, it's not a storm bolter, it's a heavy flamer. And the rest of the heavy flamer, yeah, that's part of a heavy flamer there, apparently. Which is what comes in the basic, easy to build Dreadnought. The Dreadnought's £25, being as we're dividing it over 2 issues, you're talking $12.50 per issue. So it's $7.99. Yeah, you're looking over at £8, you're looking at about 35% to 30% discount on this Dreadnought. And being as it wasn't that expensive, that's quite good. You're going from, actually, say 8 times 2 is 16, 25 minus 16 is £9 off. Well, I think, yeah, you're saving £9 in total, which, yeah, maybe 35 to 40% even, actually. Haven't done the exact maths, but still, it's easy to see though from the quality of this baby that you're looking at a reasonably good high quality miniature. I actually prefer the shape of the easy to build Dreadnought. The easy to build Dreadnought's kind of bulky like this, they always are, but the other Dreadnought, the arms stick out a bit more. It's a little less streamlined, looks a little less smooth. This one looks a bit more kind of action-packed, like it's ready to do something. That's why I've actually got that one. That and price, £25 versus £40. I mean, if you compare this to the price of a full Dreadnought, you're saving a ton more, but you're still getting a Dreadnought. The only limitations, obviously, are with the easy to build. You have to take the autocannon and you have to take the flamer option. You cannot take any of the other options. Let's get to the magazine. This week's magazine's in pristine condition, no damage at all. In all fairness, that's probably, that and to spread the cost, is probably why they packed 2 bits, and then next week we're going to get another 2 bits. If you tried to jam all 4 in, you probably would be looking at damaging it. Front page as usual, telling us what we've got in there, including a signature from the mighty Ian. Got a nice bit here about dreadnoughts telling us what they are. For those of you who don't know, if a Space Marine gets truly banjaxed, I mean beyond any hope of saving, but he's not killed, then they just wire him up into one of these things and send him on his merry way to kill people. You got another bit there about venerable dreadnoughts. Other cool stuff there. A venerable dreadnought is an ancient dreadnought that is venerated and powerful even beyond the normal dreadnought. They're almost walking shrines to themselves. For anybody who's unfamiliar with the background of 40k, a lot of it draws heavily from Christian ideology. It was common for Christian armies to carry interred saints into battle, or remnants of their people. If you're familiar with the movie Braveheart, it's worth noting William Wallace wasn't Braveheart, Robert the Bruce was Braveheart. And after Robert the Bruce died, the Scottish armies used to carry his heart in a jar on a stick into battle so that his brave heart would inspire them to kill people and win fights. When it came to the Christian armies, they'd often have their saints interred and that. And there was also a thing called canonizing someone, which is where someone was still alive would become a living saint. And what they do is they go into a church and they'd have a wall built around them and they'd have food shoved in and they just live in this one room that they couldn't ever leave as a living saint to dispense justice and dispense wisdom and things like that. So this is kind of a war, a future warish kind of version of that. These guys, dreadnoughts are almost considered living saints of the Space Marine armies. They've been around for so long that they've walked in the footsteps of gods. Bjorn the Fell-Handed is one of the oldest living beings in 40k. He's a Space Wolf dreadnought, and he actually fought. He was in the presence of the Emperor once, and he fought alongside Russ at the burning of Prospero, where he lost his arm and got screwed up. He then became the first Wolf Lord after Russ, and after that he got slaughtered and interred into a dreadnought, which is one of the reasons why he's given so much respect when he does wake up and when he does speak, because not only is he a massively powerful guy, not only is he a guy in a massively powerful machine, he's the first chapter master of the Space Wolves after Russ left. He's the first, and he's one of the oldest living beings in the Imperium. So you can understand why these dreadnoughts are given such respect and are so important. They're not just massively powerful war machines that can break the back of an army. They're also walking saints. They're walking religious icons as well. It's kind of a double-edged thing. And a lot of them don't really like the fact they're walking religious icons. So, I mean, for example, some of them are so far back that like Bjorn the Fell-Handed, they're from the age of the Imperial expansion, where the doctrine was very much a doctrine of reason, and the whole religious stuff seems to them to be stupid and mental, and they don't enjoy it. Anyway, next page, we're dealing with our Primaris dreadnoughts. The dreadnought we've got here is the Redemptor dreadnought. It is the latest upgrade in dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts having gone through several stages. So these are the newest and biggest dreadnoughts. They're quite chunky. So that explains what they are, where they're from. You've got quite a few pictures here. Oh, actually, it's a good picture here. Here you can see exactly what I meant. This is the dreadnought you've got. This is the dreadnought you get in the £40 pack. This one's sort of closer knit, a little bit more organic looking. This one, because it has to be multi-pose, the arms are sort of stuck out a bit more. To be honest, I actually prefer the standard dreadnought. This one's put down as the anti-infantry, that's the anti-armour. The set that comes in has all the trimmings. You can choose whatever setup you want, whereas the set you're going to get with this set can only be built like that. That being said, it's a massively cool one anyway. Redemptor Dreadnought Wargear here. You've got the sarcophagus, it's showing you where that is. Oh, another cool thing which happens on the more expensive dreadnought is the front can open up. So you can actually see more inside, whereas in again, this one it's just a one setting. Yeah, I prefer this one. It's a lot cheaper, and if you want the infantry setting just as good, the other one has a lot more stuff in it and is totally worth the money. You just get a lot more options, and if you want to magnetize it, you can move from one to the other. And again, here it's going through the various weapons available to dreadnoughts and what they do and what you can have. And then on the next page we go to Hellbrutes. For those of you not familiar, Hellbrutes are kind of warp tainted, twisted versions of dreadnoughts built by the Warsmiths. You can see literally that, you know, it's like a warrior or a demon half possessing and being melded directly into a dreadnought. It's much more organic, much weirder and much scarier. Here they've gone through several variants showing, in some cases Hellbrutes, in some cases old dreadnoughts, and in some cases various weird bits and pieces in between. It used to be that you just had normal dreadnoughts and chaos dreadnoughts. Now you've got Hellbrutes, which are effectively dreadnoughts, but slightly different fluff-wise. We've got a nice one here. We've moved, for the first time, but certainly for one of the few times, we're moving away from Death Guard versus Space Marines. This is Baal Under Siege. For those of you who aren't aware, one of the Tyranid high fleets tried to attack Baal, and it didn't work out well for him, because apparently Space Marines is rock hard. That being said, it didn't work out particularly brilliantly for the Space Marines either. Got some nice pictures here. Here you can see the Blood Angel Dreadnoughts are the original pattern Dreadnoughts. The Ultramarine Dreadnoughts are the new pattern Redemptor Dreadnoughts. And whilst it's not perfect, you can get an idea of the size difference there. And here you've got more of the Baal story. You've got the How to Build Redemptor Dreadnought bit here. Useless until next week, unfortunately, because there's nothing you can build with that. It's a bit sad, but frankly, being as you're getting something awesome, it's totally going to be worth the wait. As I say, the only it's the first issue we've had where you haven't had something you could use immediately. Sorry guys, but next week you're going to be able to use it, and it's going to be huge. It is the first Space Marine vehicle. They are walkers, so they don't quite follow the rules of vehicles as you'd expect them, but they are actually a type of vehicle. So, there are subtle differences, but important ones. Again, and we've got the lovely bit here about clipper safety. I like to, I don't like to think. I wonder if there's not like entire hospital wards with people with no hands and no arms where clipper safety has just gone awry. Got something here called the Barachius map. Mark your results from the infiltration missions using this map. There are 10 occasions for you to battle over. Fantastic. They've given you a campaign setting. They've given us a campaign setting. Brilliant. If you've just been playing them for fun, now's the time to start playing them seriously, because between you and your mates, you've got the basics for an awesome campaign setting. You've also got Corvon 2 and some bits there explaining what that is, and explaining what Barachius is. You've got the infiltration map here, using the big battle board you've got, and you've got the army's deployment and all the victory conditions you need to play that. You've got the setting up. They've got random rolly things. I love random rolly things. You've got some D3 things there which tell you what you get, which decide what you get, and what have we got? Where you set the objective up. That's awesome. They're set on D3. For those of you who don't know how to roll a D3, there's two ways of thinking of it. Basically, you roll a D6 and then half it, rounding down. Rounding down? Yeah. So 1 or 2 is a 1. 3 or 4 is a 3, 5 or 6. Sorry, no, 3 or 4 is a 2, and 5 or 6 is a 3. So, or you can find an actual D3. They do exist, but it's easier just to use the D6 you got. It's got a nice diagram there that explains what I've just said, and other cool stuff. You've got another mission briefing, search the city. Again, we've got 2 missions going on here. The other mission was called Infiltration. This one's called Exfiltration. Because apparently when you go into a war zone, you need to have a plan for getting out of a war zone. Those of you who've watched the who watched the second Gulf War with interest might wonder what their plan for getting out was there. Apparently Space Marines are better organised than the real world military. Sorry. You've got your armies, your deployment, your victory conditions and all stuff like that. And that's all really cool. So you've got a really fantastic thing there. Next week we are getting part 2. So another dreadnought. Another dreadnought issue, which will allow us to complete this baby and have this up and running. And then, but not much interesting for 26, but we are getting Rakarth Flesh and a refill of Chaos Black. For those of you who've been painting this as per the magazines, you probably need more Chaos Black by now. For those of you like me who bought 3 or 4 of the first issues to get a ton of Chaos Black because it was cheaper than actually buying it, it's still Chaos Black. It's still something you use. So that's what's going to be happening soon. And yeah, that's what's going to be happening in the next 2 weeks. That's going to be really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and see you next time. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there, and please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.